The courtroom is quiet, nearly unsettlingly so. One fan whirs overhead, stirring stale air through the heavy wooden chambers. All eyes are on the double doors at the back, waiting for him to come. And then, in a cloud of smoke-like controversy, Kody Brown steps in. His jaw is set, his face stern, hair pulled back in the way one is so used to seeing it. But something is different today. Something weighs on him. He knows this isn't just another hearing. This is the day everything could change. The man who once flashed pictures of his sprawling family, who one day wanted to build homes on Coyote Pass, now walks into a place where his legacy will forever be ripped away. Whispers in the room increase in volume. Christine and Janelle are side by side, together in silence. Meri is across the aisle, her face impassive, arms crossed like a shield. And Robyn's eyes are puffy red, hands shaking as she grips a wadded tissue. The tension is agonizing. Everyone knows why they're here, but no one is brave enough to say it out loud. A court order has been filed in secret, and if it stands, it could mean the unthinkable. Kody Brown excluded from Coyote Pass, permanently. It was unthinkable. Coyote Pass wasn't property for years. It was a dream. Kody's. A place he vowed to create for his family. A clean slate free from the cameras and drama. He envisioned homes in a row like a fortress. Kids playing on acres of open space. A new era of harmony and tranquility. And yet, with one slam of the gavel, all could be lost. And the question on everyone's mind is simple. What did Kody do to warrant this? The judge walks in, robes flowing, eyes sharp. The scrape of his chair against the wooden floor makes Robyn flinch. He wastes no time for small talk. He understands what it's all about, and knows the whole world is waiting with bated breath. This is no longer a family dispute. It has turned into a fight that will redefine everything the sister wives have fought for. Love, loyalty, and freedom. But the actual surprise isn't what the judge has to say initially. It's the proof. Documents piled high on the prosecutor's desk, sealed documents, hints of clandestine recordings, the sorts of things no one thought to come up. And that's where it gets even more complicated. Not everyone sitting in this courtroom dislikes Kody. Robyn, sobbing and delicate, tilts toward him, mouthing words no one else can hear. She's still with him, no matter what. But Christine? She looks ready to explode, her eyes locked on Kody like daggers. Janelle is quieter, but her silence is louder than any shout. And Meri's smirk, fleeting but real, says everything. She wants to see how far this man can fall. Just when you've got it figured out who's in Kody's corner and who's against him, another surprise tears the air in two. The bailiff states the case, voice firm, but even he pauses for a beat, as if the burden of these words is too great. Brown versus Brown. Regarding the property called Coyote Pass, the words linger in the air, like smoke. Brown versus Brown. Husband versus wives, father versus children, family torn down the middle. And the judge, he's not here to heal. He's here to determine possession, legacy, and the right to place foot on that land again. For the home audience, this is not legal drama. This is betrayal as legal leverage. This is years of unbuilt-up resentments brought into the open. And it's all happening while being watched by a man with the authority to destroy Kody's dream with one pen stroke. The imagination camera zooms in closer. You can practically hear Kody's heart racing in his chest. He glances left, Christine giving him the cold stare. He glances right, Robyn's big sad eyes imploring him to not give up. In front, the judge is already scanning pages of documents. The trial has not even really begun, and already it's like the final page has been written. But here's the kicker. The most surprising evidence hasn't even been revealed yet. And when it is, it won't merely shake Kody. It'll blow up the whole family. Kody swallows hard, preparing for his defense. But the judge holds up a hand. Not yet. First the witnesses. First the tales. And they won't be gentle. The first name to be called causes a wave of shock through the courtroom. It's someone nobody anticipated testifying. Someone Kody believed would remain quiet. The air turns icy. Even Robyn gasps. And in that instant, everyone knows, this isn't about land anymore. This is about loyalty, betrayal, and secrets that will entomb a man alive. Consider the pressure, the walls closing in, decades of closed-door conversations, texts, financial reports, all pulled out into the light. Christine leans forward, saying something quietly to Janelle, and she nods darkly. Meri watches, her lips twisting as if she's been looking for this moment. Robyn clings to Kody's arm hard, whispering frantically, but even her voice is lost in the silence before the storm. And then the judge delivers something that stops the whole room cold. If this evidence holds up, Mr. Brown, you won't just lose title to Coyote Pass, you won't be able to set foot on it, ever. The words are a clap of thunder. Kody's color goes, the swagger falling off him. It's not about property anymore. It's about exile. And this is where you have to lean in, because the next testimony will spill secrets even Kody didn't anticipate. Stick with me through the end of this saga, because what's about to be uncovered will make you rethink everything you ever believed about sister wives. And when it's said and done, I want to hear from you. Does Kody deserve to be banned from Coyote Pass for the rest of his life? Or is this punishment too severe? Share your thoughts below. The courtroom clock whirs loudly, each tick sounding like a drumbeat. The judge settles back in his chair, glasses slipping down the end of his nose, as he goes through the large folder of evidence. The gallery is filled to the back, reporters, relatives, and even some distant relatives of the Browns, all leaning forward, ravenous for what is about to come. Kody fidgets in his chair, his fingers clasp the table's edge, knuckles pale with tension, as if a tight enough grip will restrain this whole mess from getting out of hand. Robyn inches forward, a whispered warning, stay calm, they don't know everything. Her voice, however, shakes her fear. The bailiff summons the first witness. The name echoes through the courtroom. Christine Brown. Kody's head whips around to her, eyes narrowing. Christine stands slowly, face calm but eyes ablaze. She doesn't glance at Kody as she walks to the stand. She fixes her stare on the judge, her chin held high, like a soldier in combat. Mrs. Brown, the judge continues, do you swear to tell the truth? I do, Christine responds firmly, her voice unwavering. She sits down, and the courtroom is in suspense. Everyone has known Christine walked out on Kody years ago, but no one knew she would return with this much resolve. Kody promised us all that Coyote Pass would be our future, she starts. But in the back room, things were different. He manipulated funds, he moved money around, and he played on our trust against us. What was supposed to be family property became a weapon. His weapon, Kody slams his palm against the table. That's a lie. He blurts out, his voice booming across the room. The judge shoots him a warning glance. Mr. Brown, the judge says sternly, you'll have your turn to speak. Sit down. Christine does not waver. She goes on, her tone harder now, slicing through the silence. We did not leave him due to relationships. We left because we understood the dream he marketed us was never there. And now he wants to hold the land for himself, when it never was his to start with. Gasps spread across the room. Even Meri, who's been making an effort to remain impassive, drops her head, her lips compressing into a thin line. And just when it seems like Christine's exposed everything, she stops, and teases something even more sinister. She leans forward slightly, speaking softly but ensuring each word counts. If you believe that this is only about money, then you're mistaken. There are some things about Kody that have not yet been said, things that will make clear why he must never again step foot on Coyote Pass. The judge lifts an eyebrow, interested. You're going to have to be specific, Mrs. Brown. Christine nods, but rather than replying immediately, she looks over at Janelle, as if handing off the baton in a race they've both been training for. Janelle glances down, twisting her wedding ring anxiously, and the whole room knows what comes next. Kody sits frozen, his jaw clenched, his face red with fury. Robyn whispers again, don't react, just don't react. But Kody can't hide it. His nostrils flare, his chest rises and falls too fast. He's losing control. The judge clears his throat. We'll hear from Mrs. Janelle Brown next. Court will recess for 10 minutes. The gavel strikes. The echo feels like thunder. As the courtroom stirs to life, Christine exits the stand, brushing against Kody but not glancing at him. But before she heads back to her chair, she mutters under her breath, just loudly enough for him to catch. It's over, Kody. You can't bury the truth anymore. And that's when you know, Christine's testimony was just the tip of the iceberg. The real bombshell has yet to fall. The recess ends, and the atmosphere inside the courtroom feels heavier than before. The spectators shuffle back into their seats, their whispers filling the air with nervous energy. Cameras from the press, flicker like lightning, each flash catching Kody's restless glare. The bailiff announces the next witness, Mrs. Janelle Brown. Janelle stands up slowly, her shoulders knotted, her face white but resolute. She moves cautiously to the stand, each step slow, as if weighed down by years. She takes the oath, her voice low, but firm. Then she sits, her hands folded in her lap, refusing to glance towards Kody Brown. The judge interrupts. You may proceed. Janelle takes a sharp breath, then speaks. When we purchased Coyote Pass, I believed in him. But what Kody led us to believe, it wasn't what he was actually doing. He said the land was equally divided, that each of us would have our portion, that our children would raise them there. But when I dug deeper into the documents, she pauses, her voice shaking. It was a lie. My name wasn't on it. Neither was Christine's. Only his. Only Robyn's. The courtroom erupts in gasps. Press reporters write frantically. Christine glances at her, her head bobbing up and down with grim approval, while Robyn hides her face in her hands. Kody bends forward, speaking low but menacingly. That is not what happened, Janelle. You know that is not true. But Janelle finally faces him, her eyes smoldering with a fury that quiets even him. I sacrificed everything for you, Kody. My savings, my security. I believed you when you told me that we were creating a future. But you constructed a trap, and you used us to fund it. Her words cut the courtroom, leaving no breath behind. And just when you think Janelle is done, she lets drop a bombshell nobody could have seen coming. She leans forward over the microphone. Your Honor, I have proof. Bank statements. Transfers Kody made. Money transferred from family accounts into his own accounts, described as land payment. But those land payments weren't for the family. They were for him and Robyn. Robyn gasps and shakes her head indignantly. No, not true. Tell them, Kody. Tell them. She clutches his arm, but Kody pushes her away, his expression a furious mask. The judge nods forward. Do you have those records with you, Mrs. Brown? Janelle nods. Yes, Your Honor. I filed them in court last month. The courtroom erupts into chaos. Whispers, gasps, rustling of papers. The judge lifts his gavel, slamming it down for order. Kody bangs his fist on the table. This is betrayal. You're distorting everything. You don't understand. Enough, Mr. Brown. The judge cuts in harshly. You'll have your say. The ensuing silence is choking. Janelle leans back, her hands shaking now, but her gaze never wavering from Kody's. It's as if decades of pent-up aggravation have finally reached their crescendo. The judge clears his throat. This court will recess until tomorrow morning, when the next witness will be called. But let it be clear, the financial evidence will weigh heavily in this case. The gavel booms once more. Boom, boom, boom. Kody slumps into his chair, white-faced, sweat trailing down his temple. He glances at Robyn, pleading for reassurance, but even she can't look at him. Christine clutches Janelle's hand hard. The two women finally reunited. And that is when you know, Janelle's witness has swung open a door which can never be shut. Tomorrow's witness won't merely hurt Kody, it may kill him altogether. The following morning, the courtroom seems even fuller. News of Janelle's testimony has traveled, and now all seats are occupied. The media is shoulder to shoulder, cameras clicking, pens scribbling. The tension is palpable, as if everyone senses that something is going to blow any minute. Kody enters, haggard-looking. Gone is his usual bravado. His eyes are bloodshot, his shoulders slumped. Robyn follows in his wake, holding his arm like a lifeline. Christine sits straight, serene, unruffled, her face as hard as stone. When the bailiff calls her name once more, the courtroom falls silent. Christine stands. This time she does not merely walk to the witness stand. She marches, as though each step is powered by decades of betrayal and disillusion. The judge waves her on. Christine's voice is calm, but her eyes shine. I trusted him for years. I trusted our family. But Kody, he didn't love us all the same. He didn't even attempt it. He played favorites. He lied, and he used us to hide his own shortcomings. And when I tried to leave with integrity, he ensured that he punished me. Kody springs out of his chair, his face flushed, spittle in the corner of his mouth. Punish you? I gave you everything. You ungrateful. The judge bangs his gavel. Mr. Brown, sit down. Christine does not blink. She stares him down, her voice a knife's edge. You gave me leftovers, Kody. You gave us all leftovers. While Robyn received everything, you wanted Coyote Pass for her, not for the family, not for the children, just her. The sentences cut through the room. Robyn bursts into tears, holding her face in her hands. The gallery is a susurration of whispers. Even Meri is leaning forward now, her eyes fixed on Christine, silently urging her on. And just when you believe that Christine has delivered her last blow, she rounds out with a revelation that turns everything on its head. She extracts a folded letter from her purse, her hand shaking ever so slightly. This, she holds it aloft, is a letter Kody wrote to me the day following, when I announced my departure. In it, he threatened to cut me off from Coyote Pass. He said that if I left, I'd never lay eyes on the land or the dream again. He wrote, and I quote, "If you walk away, Christine, you walk away from everything." Gasps erupt within the courtroom. The judge inclines forward. Is that a genuine letter? Christine nods. Yes, Your Honor, I saved it. Because in the back of my mind, I knew this day would finally arrive. Kody's face distorts, his lips parting, but nothing escapes. He is trapped, cornered, like a man standing by, and watching the walls close around him. The judge directs the letter to be entered as evidence. Christine returns to her seat, still fixing Kody with her gaze. And for the first time, Kody avoids her eyes. He glances away, and that is when you understand. Christine hasn't merely testified. She's shattered the last vestige of Kody's defense, but the deadliest witness has yet to come on the stand. The courtroom is crowded again. The following morning, news of Janelle's testimony spread. And now the seats are all taken. Reporters are shoulder to shoulder, cameras popping, pens scratching away. The buzz is electric, like everyone senses something is going to blow. Kody enters, looking worn out. His bravado is absent, his eyes are red-rimmed, his shoulders slumped. Robyn follows behind him, holding onto his arm for support. But Christine sits upright, unruffled, composed, her face set in stone. When the bailiff calls her once more, the room goes silent immediately. Christine stands. This time, she does not merely walk to the stand. She strides as though every movement is driven by decades of betrayal and frustration. The judge motions for her to start. Christine's voice is firm, but her eyes shine. I trusted him for years. I trusted our family. But Kody, he didn't love us equally. He didn't even try. He played favorites. He lied. And he used us to cover up his own failures. And when I attempted to leave with honor, he made sure to punish me. Kody lurches out of his chair, his face flushed, spittle at the side of his mouth. Punish you? I gave you everything. You ungrateful. The judge bangs his gavel. Mr. Brown, sit down. Christine does not blink. She stares him down, her voice slicing like glass. You gave me leftovers, Kody. You gave all of us leftovers. And Robyn had it all. You desired Coyote Pass for her. Not for the family. Not for the kids. Just her. The words cut through the room. Robyn breaks down into tears, burying her face in her hands. The gallery breaks into whispers. Even Meri is leaning forward now, staring at Christine, willfully willing her on. And just when you believe Christine has delivered her knockout punch, she makes a revelation that turns everything upside down. She takes a creased letter from her handbag, her hand shaking just a little. This, she indicates, waving it in the air, is a letter Kody sent me the day after I told him I was leaving. In it, he threatened to cut me off from Coyote Pass. He said if I left, I'd never see the land, or the dream, again. He wrote, and I quote, "You walk away, Christine. You walk away from everything." Gasps erupt in the courtroom. The judge leans forward. Is that letter real? Christine nods. Yes, Your Honor. I saved it. Because deep down, I knew this day would arrive. Kody's face twists, his mouth opening, but nothing comes out. He looks trapped, cornered, like a man seeing the walls shut in on him. The judge instructs the letter to be made a part of the evidence. Christine returns to her seat, eyes not leaving Kody's. And for the first time, Kody doesn't look her in the eye. He averts his gaze. And that's when you know, Christine hasn't only testified. She's destroyed the last refuge of Kody's alibi. But the most deadly witness has yet to come before the court. The air inside the courtroom is thicker than ever, as if the walls themselves were suffocating. The judge puts on his glasses, drumming his pen on the desk, the stinging snap piercing the air. Everyone's eyes are on him. Bated breath. The court has heard Mrs. Brown's testimony, he states sternly, but there is additional evidence to take into account. Kody freezes, his jaw clenched. He knows what is happening, or perhaps he doesn't. His glance swings toward the stack of sealed envelopes and large binders sitting on the side of the prosecution. One file is drawn out. Its title, Brown Family Trust, Confidential. The prosecutor stands up. Your Honor, with your permission, I would like to introduce financial exhibits and letters of evidence indicating mismanagement of Coyote Pass money. The judge nods. Proceed. The first item displayed on the courtroom screen is a bank statement. The red figures shout betrayal. Tens of thousands of dollars, taken out in cash, described as family expenses. But the receipts attached provide another tale. High-end jewelry, trips, even personal security. Christine gasps, covering her mouth with her hand. Janelle shakes her head in shock. Meri grumbles under her breath. Of course. Robyn grasps Kody's arm frantically. Please, please tell them something. Tell them it's not true. Kody sits immobile, his forehead beaded with sweat. His silence speaks volumes louder than any denial. The prosecutor goes on. Your Honor, these documents verify that money was siphoned off without the wives' knowledge or approval. Not only was Coyote Pass used for personal enrichment, but Mr. Brown also tried to cover up these transfers by forging signatures in the names of relatives. The courtroom bursts out in gasps. Even the judge leans back, his face set. Forgery? The prosecutor gravely nods. Yes, Your Honor. Kody finally loses it. He shoots up out of his seat, pounding his fists on the table. That's a lie. They're twisting this. I was defending my family, ensuring we had what we required. His voice breaks, more pleading than belligerent. But the judge is unmoved. He leans forward, his tone hard. Mr. Brown, this is not a venue for displays. Sit down before I hold you in contempt. Kody glares, but slowly sits back down, his chest rising and falling in heavy breaths. His hands shake, clutching the edge of the table for support as if it were the only thing that was holding him up. And just when it looks like the tension can't get any tighter, the prosecutor pulls out the kill shot, a video recording. The screen flickers to life. The audio is grainy, but clear enough. It's Kody's voice captured in a late-night phone call. His words cut like knives. If they don't follow me, they don't deserve the land. I'll take it all, and they'll have nothing. The room erupts into shock. Gasps, whispers, even stifled cries. Robyn completely collapses, crying into her hands. Christine leans back in her chair, justified but shaken. Janelle sits at the screen, her lips shaking. The judge holds up a hand for quiet, his expression solemn. This court will decide. But let me make one thing clear. If these words and records are true, Mr. Brown, not only will you forfeit your claim to Coyote Pass, you will be prohibited from ever setting foot on the property again. You need to be very careful with your words when you next talk. The gavel comes down, and the boom echoes out like thunder. And in the silence left behind, there is a shiver. And that's when you realize, the verdict is not so much a question of if, but how much. The courtroom is back in session, after hours of strained debate. The air is thick, like the whole building is aware that what is about to be uttered will be heard far beyond it. Kody sits stiff, his face pale. Robyn holds his hand, crying softly, it's going to be okay. It has to be. But even she isn't sure sounding. Christine and Janelle sit across the aisle from each other, their shoulders set, their gazes straight ahead. Meri reclines, arms crossed, her face impassive, but her silence is heavy. Heavy like years of waiting for this moment. The judge enters with papers in hand. He adjusts glasses, surveying the room. The gavel comes down once, commanding silence. This court has taken the testimony, the accounting records, and the evidence presented into careful consideration. He starts out, his tone firm but not shaking. Mr. Brown, it is obvious that the property called Coyote Pass was not operated in good faith. Money was taken and used for personal purposes. Signatures were used for purposes other than those intended, and your own words as recorded show intent to keep your family out of what was left to them. The words drop like bricks, one upon another. Kody bows his head, his hands trembling. The judge goes on. Thus, it is the order of this court that title to Coyote Pass shall be divided equally among the financially contributing wives. Additionally effective today, Mr. Kody Brown is hereby prohibited permanently from entering the property. Disobedience of this order will incur legal penalty. The gavel comes down. The sound sounds final, like the lid of a coffin slamming shut. Gasps emanate throughout the room. Robyn breaks into sobs, grabbing Kody's arm, muttering, "No, no, they can't do this." But Christine and Janelle exchange a glance. Relief and sadness. This was not winning. It was surviving. Kody stands up slowly, his expression contorted in disbelief. "You can't do this to me," he snarls. "This was my dream, my land, my family." Christine finally faces him, her voice firm but unyielding. "It wasn't about family a long time ago, Kody. You did this to yourself." Meri stands, her eyes meeting his. For the first time, she speaks, "Maybe now you'll understand what it feels like to be left behind." Kody's chest is heaving, fury and despair battling for control inside of him. Robyn is holding on to him, begging him to slip away quietly, but his gaze is still fixed on the wives who once obeyed him without hesitation. The authority is lost. The vision is lost. And so is his right to Coyote Pass. And this is the truth. At this moment, the family is no longer held together by Kody's vision. They are liberated, but shattered. As the courtroom clears, Christine and Janelle exit side by side, heads held high. Meri lingers at a distance, contented. Robyn remains, wiping at tears, between loyalty and reality. And Kody, he stands by himself in the center of the room, looking at the ground where his vision of Coyote Pass has been reduced to dust. So now it's your turn to ask. Do you think Kody Brown should have been banned from Coyote Pass forever? Or was this punishment too harsh? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you think.